Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and if you weren't familiar, in 2021 we're going to have, Kaldheim first, then we've got Time Spiral Remastered, then we've got Strixhaven School of Mages, aka the Hogwarts ripoff, then we've got the Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms set, then we've got Modern Horizons 2, and at the end of the year we've got Innistrad Werewolves and Innistrad Vampires. And there was some debate about, are they going to make it two separate boxes? Are you going to open a booster box and get, 18 or whatever of each booster? Were they labeled? Were they blind? Oh, and then in 2022, we're going to have Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, allegedly. And by allegedly, I mean, here's pictures of the Planeswalkers already. So, allegedly might be a little generous. So Wizards has had a bit of a leaking problem lately, in case you haven't noticed. And it looks like the Q4 2021 set has already had the product packaging leaked by some Japanese source, probably a retailer or distributor. But then again, these look like prototypes or release candidates or something from like a survey or something that shouldn't have been leaked. So number one here, we've got, just some werewolves, whatever, cool. And that's the set booster. And then in the middle, we've got Ren from, Ren in 6. And then Arlen Cord, obviously, because that's her red scarf for armor, I don't know, whatever. And then on the right, I don't know, but that's a moon on her forehead, so kind of indicates some kind of Kamigawa moon priestess, but I don't know. She could just draw a moon on her forehead and just be some kind of weird, creepy ghost chick or something. Notice that the packs are taller and have a hole in the top of them, which I guess is how Japanese products are. Couldn't you just peek in the hole with a camera or like a laser or something and look at the cards? That seems like a horrible idea, but somebody said that that's how they all are, so okay, whatever. Then we've got this one, which looks like an earlier version or something. It's like different art. I mean, that's still obviously Ren. In the middle, it's still werewolves on the left, but zoomed in a little bit. And, this one's full Japanese, so no English whatsoever. So are they waffling between that? They haven't made their minds. Also, the packs are the wrong height, and they took the hole off. I don't know. Is that a thing they're considering? Who knows? Now, so far, we've only seen werewolves. Everybody's been wondering, are they going to do a separate box for vampires and a separate box for werewolves? I'm hoping no, because whichever one sells worse, a store gets stuck with. It's that simple. One is more popular, one is worth more. That's what everybody buys, and eventually, after a week, they don't touch the other one at all. So that would be beyond idiotic. What they could do is put 18 of each in a box and then either make them blind or label them, I don't know, and have basically half be werewolves, half be vampires, or just not do that. Not release two products and then have one bomb, because that's stupid. So this third picture really confuses it, because these appear to be vampires. That dude on the left there, people are saying, is that Oko? Ha ha ha. Yeah, because he's wearing like an open cut shirt. That's not him, that's not his face, it's not his hair. Then again, there is zero consistency when artists draw anyone in the Magic world. Don't believe me? M14 Jace, look it up. Literally any picture of Teferi ever, look it up. Speaking of that, Teferi clearly in the middle. Great. Probably also Arlen Cord again. Which makes no sense, because she's a werewolf. And then we've got, clearly, some kind of vampire just based on her eyes and the dress. People are saying Olivia Voldran. I don't know, maybe. Back to the left, obviously Ren. Okay, no idea who the middle one is. Bottom, that looks like a werewolf, so it's like, did they finally pull their head out of their ass and say, we're putting vampires and werewolves in the same damn pack? Because otherwise shops will get stuck with it, they're going to have to put it on clearance. That looks bad. It's bad for everybody. It's just a bad idea. But so was Companion, and Mark Rosewater's dumbass rammed that through. I don't know, it's probably Vampire Oko, and it's going to be the most broken card in the history of the game. Who knows? I don't know who that is. It kind of looks like that YouTuber that did like the pink guy and all that. That's probably who it is. He's probably canon now. He's an official character. But yeah, Teferi back. Nobody wants to see Teferi ever again. He is just an absolute ingrown hair on the game's taint. Anytime he comes around, people get pissed off. They need to kill him off in the storyline officially and be absolutely f***ing done with him. And once again, on the right, who the hell knows who that is? I don't know. Some Kamigawa moon priestess. I don't know. So I don't know what any of these mean. We still don't know how the product is going to be, and this probably shouldn't have leaked. So congratulations, Wizards, for looking like a bunch of idiots again. And I can't wait to see how they screw up this product leak. So, I'm curious, do you guys want to see a dual release simultaneous split in half set for Innistrad where you either buy werewolves or you buy vampires? Just kidding, you buy whatever one's more valuable? Gee, was that too much of a leading question? Or are you okay with it? In other words, are you wrong? What do you think is going to be the storyline? My guess is some Twilight bullshit. Ooh, vampires versus werewolves. How creative. I mean, can't they just think for themselves instead of like stealing other people's mythologies and like every book and movie ever and just making that a set? Look at the Oblivion DLC, The Shivering Isles. It's considered the best DLC ever made in all of history. Bullshit, 0 Hour for Command and Conquer Generals was, but anyway. Half the city is super depressed, half the city is super mania. They keep them separated. They each have their own culture and creatures, and there's, high-level magic controlling it. And then it's a fight between madness and order, and then I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it's pretty wild. Really, really good, interesting story with a good twist. Madness versus order, some kind of like references to Alice in Wonderland, kind of getting a vibe off that. Why don't they come up with something like that? Logic versus order, two factions fighting, who will win? And then they, split apart, learn to live together, or whatever magic's making them all psycho, drops and they all just act like normal people. There's your story, there's your set. Then you can make it into a mechanic. A somewhat civilized plane, with like some industry, maybe like a 1910 kind of thing, maybe like 1890s, that level of technology. So post-Victorian but pre-industrial, or semi-industrial. And then out of nowhere, 30 years back, the dead started coming, showing us ghosts once in a great while. And then there's more. And then 10 years later, there's more. And then 10 years later, now it's speeding up. And all of a sudden, there's ghosts everywhere. And they don't know where they're coming from. But they're clearly like dead, elves or whoever lives there. And they're like, why are they coming back? And then it's like the realm of the dead and the planes split in two and they're merging because they're not really dead. They just go to the other plane, which is kind of like Hades. And now they have to stop the merging and the ghost invasion. So they need planeswalkers to like go collect some dumb MacGuffin thing. Then you take the 5 MacGuffins and put them together, summon Captain Planet, and he merges the planes, and then people can rest in peace. There you go. I just made up a thing. And then they're sitting over at Wizards of the Coast. There's like lore specialists, like literally creative team writers who are like, let's do Space Norway. Let's just rip off Thor and Loki. Then we don't have to think for ourselves at all. Let's go back to Kamigawa so we can just pretend we know about Japanese history. And then just rip all that off. We don't have to think of new outfits or weapons or mechanics or characters. Let's just rip off Egyptian mythology. Nobody check if snake-headed Naga creatures are actually Indonesian. It's just so lazy, it's so cliche, it's so done to death. I think the closest they got to being creative was maybe Battle Bond. I mean, Throne of Eldraine, that's about as cliche as it gets. At least it's like so generic that it's like, okay, they aren't just ripping off one thing. But then you look at like Tarkir, oh boy, clans, they're fighting, they're violent. Wow, you're describing all of human history. Ooh, primitive clans, and they think this thing, and then they think that thing, and now they're at war. Yeah, you're literally just describing Europe. Boring, unoriginal, stupid, which is how I would definitely say Werewolves versus Vampires is. But I get it, it's Innistrad, they're going back, they've already set it up, cool. But when we start going to new planes, it better be interesting. And then look at Strixhaven. It's literally just Hogwarts. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still pretty excited. It sounds like a really cool idea, but I'm only talking about the lore. I mean, whenever they announce anything new in Standard, leaked or spoiled or otherwise, I'll get excited about its release when they fix the problem from the last, 3 years. More cards have been banned in the last 3 years in Standard than in the entire rest of the game combined. Ever. Going back to 1995. Or it's close or something. I don't remember if it might be tied. It's somewhere around there. So they've screwed up more in 3 years than the other 23 years. So it's not an opinion. It's not just people complaining on the internet that Standard is bad, okay? Arena has lost 2/3 to about 75% of their active players. That is a fact. They've banned way too many cards because they've printed way too many broken cards. That is a fact. I mean, you can prove that with statistics. So whenever I see a new thing and I'm like, oh, cool, they're going to kind of rip off Hogwarts, and I don't care because they'll probably do it better. A School for Mages, cool. I mean, why do you think Harry Potter did so well? It's a cool idea, and I'm excited to see what they do with it, but not from a gameplay perspective. So basically, I mean, my point in this whole video is like, this looks cool, looks interesting, ooh, new characters, ooh, I wonder what Ren and 6 are gonna do. But like, literally just the lore. Every single product they come out with, anybody who knows anything is just worried. Just not, they're like maybe 5% excited, 95% concerned. And they should be. Those people are very intelligent and have been paying attention. So until they can prove that they can make a standard product that isn't a complete dumpster fire that ruins multiple formats, I'm not truly going to get excited about anything, really. But the story and the lore and seeing new characters come back and interesting interactions, I mean, alright. I gotta say though, that whole Let's Fix Zendikar thing, that storyline was weak as hell. Just stupid. It made no sense. The way it wrapped up was just odd. And literally not one of the characters in it was likable. So please, Wizards, write something interesting for once so that at least while we're busy not playing the game, we can at least give a shit about the lore and stay interested in your product in some way. Right now on Reddit, the most intelligent, high-rated discussion I can find about this leak is, I wonder if they'll change Renin 6 to Renin 7 because 6 plus 7 equals 13 and it's Innistrad. I don't really follow it, but that's the most entertaining thing I've read so far. Other people are just like memeing on it because they don't care, because it's the same plane for the third time. There's no mystery going on with the big reveal this time. It's just vampires versus werewolves. That's just the most tired thing ever. Just literally nobody gives a crap. So maybe they'll make it interesting, but oh man. I will say, if that's Vampire Oko on that packaging, plus Teferi's in it, this is going to be the worst set ever. Just period. The end. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So hey, let me know what you think about all this. Don't forget, Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, allegedly, they're not married to that name yet, is going to be some kind of Japanese futuristic techno whatever, which is literally every anime ever, because like I said, they can't think for themselves. And when this first leaked, there was also descriptions of the characters in the plane and all that. Nobody's interested in it. A couple weebs are like, ooh, future Japan, transhumanist, futurist, blah, 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 anime weeb shit. Oh boy. But like the other 99% were just like, oh my God, really? So boy, if that's Q1 2022, they've got two very unexciting sets in a row. I mean, this doesn't look good. That's why I kept saying earlier in this video, they need to come up with something new and something interesting, something original, something where people are like, whoa, you know, and they've had stories like that in the last couple years. It's just the accompanying set was a disaster. So hopefully none of these are. I don't know. I do wonder how this got leaked and from who though, but at this point, Wizards has made so many enemies, it could be anybody, and we're going to keep seeing it. I almost guarantee that this and the last couple were malicious. They weren't accidents. They were contractors, vendors, and Wizards partners like turning on them to spite them. So good job, Wizards. You're hated by everybody, and this is the result. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next video.